welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial with this bear in nature and a cute little sunset. So grab a drink, get your paints, and let's get started. The canvas size I have is going to be an 8 by 10. You can use an 11 by 14. You'll just have to change up the proportions a little bit according to the size of your canvas. The colors that we'll be using are titanium white, black, phthalo blue. We may or may not use a grass green, burnt umber, raw sienna, yellow ochre or yellow oxide, medium yellow. This is like it's called a gray purple, but you could use ultramarine blue mixed with a little bit of raw umber and white to make this color, or you could get this color, and like I said, it's a gray purple. And then the last color is, it's like a light pink, so any kind of light pink will work. Let me just set these to the side. Colors. We're using quite a few colors this time, but don't get too stressed about it. It'll be fine. Okay, and then the brushes that we'll be using are there's something on my canvas, kind of like a large flat, a small round, and two different sizes of small flats. So one is small, one is really small. And then a liner brush. If there are any more colors or anything that we use or brushes that we use, I'll put them in the description box when we're done. I'm not quite sure what all we'll be using, but this is just to get us started off, and then the final colors and everything will be in the description box, so you won't be confused at all. So we're gonna start off with our small round, and we're just gonna dampen our brush a little bit. Hopefully you have a rag or some paper towels that you can wipe your brush off on, and some water. So we just wanna kind of like map out where things will go, and I'm gonna go into my burnt umber just for the sketching. You can pretty much use any color because it'll get covered up. And we want to find our horizon line, and it'll be about here. It's about a third of the way down, and we just want to put that line in here. Doesn't have to be perfect, we just want to know where things will go. Okay, so we have that line. Also, we're gonna have like a little dirt path, and we'll just sketch that in. Just like that. Nothing too fancy. Where this little road will be, where our horizon line is, and then we can get started on the sky. So we're gonna go into that gray purple color, mix it with a little bit of white, so it'll lighten it up a little bit, and that's gonna go across the top. If your brush gets dry, just dip it in water, drag off the excess excess water and then go back in. You can paint your sides as we go along. It's almost like a blue color, the sky. So if you don't have the gray purple, you can use ultramarine blue mixed with white. And as we go down, I'm adding a little bit more white to it to lighten it up a little bit more as we get down to the horizon line. And then I'm just blending. I'm just going back in. I'm not putting any more paint on my brush. I'm just going back in and just smoothing that line. Getting my sides. And just blending. I get a little bit more white down here. And you can rinse your brush out. We're using our large flat brush, if I didn't mention it before. Now we're going to go into our phthalo blue, and we're going to mix it with a little bit of the burnt umber and a little smidge of yellow medium. And that's going to go on these sides here. So it's like a really dark green color. And look at this side as well. And that was phthalo blue, a little bit of burnt umber, and a little smidge of yellow. Okay, and you can rinse your brush out. The top of mine should be pretty dry. Yours should be too if you didn't use too much paint. And we're gonna go back into that gray purple. We're gonna add a lot more white. And we're just gonna streak it in there. I didn't mix it too much, but because I wanted some streaks. And I'm just gonna go back over this. A little bit more white. Just put some streaks in there. And I'm just lightly brushing it over. pink, and we're gonna add that to that mixture. We're just gonna add some pink in there. We're gonna brush that in too. Just randomly in spots. That pink, and I added a little bit of white to the mixture. I'm gonna add a little bit more white. See that? I'm just dusting it on. Putting more in some places than other, and then blending. So you can still see the blue, but on, you know, underneath, you see the pink blending in. And so that pink and that, we're gonna add a little bit of yellow to it, and then get down to the horizon. I'm gonna put it down here. So lightly put it in there. Dust it around in some other places. So you can just see hints of this yellow. I'm going back into my pink now. I'm just adding some of that down here. Top part alone a little bit, and we'll rinse our brush out again. Get all of that color out of your brush. Wipe it off on your paper towel. Okay, and now we're gonna go into our burnt umber. We're gonna put a little smidge of black and white. It's gonna make like a gray color, grayish color. And that's gonna go in here. It's a brownish gray color. Just scrub it in there. I'll make this a little wider. Now we're going to go back into our phthalo blue, burnt umber, and a little bit of yellow again. We're going to darken this up. So this is our second layer of this green color. We'll do it on the other side as well. Okay, and to that mixture, we're going to add a little bit of white. So it was phthalo blue, burnt umber, and a little bit of white. I'm just going to drag it up from here, from this horizon line. You don't have to be too precious about it. It's just a dragging that we're doing. A little bit of, not all one height. And you can rinse your brush out. I'm going to go into our burnt umber again. Mix a little bit of black, a little bit of white. Brown, a little more gray. Okay, we have that done. You can rinse your brush out. Now we need to let all of this dry for about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll continue. Okay, so mine is all dry. I am going to take my small flat brush. This is the size. I'm going to dampen it a little bit. And I am going to go into my burnt umber, a little bit of black, a little bit of white, make a gray color again, and a little bit more white. In our little road. Just light strokes. lot of this is going to be covered up, but we want to get this color in. Okay, rinse your brush out. We're gonna work on the sky a little bit more. This is our last layer for the sky. And we're gonna get a lot of white and just a little bit of that pink. It's gonna be really light. And we're gonna put that only like in the middle here. Maybe we'll go over. It's gonna cover up some stuff, but that's okay. I don't have a lot of paint on my brush, and I'm just lightly putting this in. A little bit of yellow mixed in with that, and a little bit more white. Brushing it. I might come in later with some darker colors, but for right now, I'm just adding a little bit more white. For right now, we'll leave it like this. And rinse your brush out. If your water is getting a little dark on you, switch it out because it will muddy up the colors. And we don't want that. We'll get our small flat again. We're gonna go into our phthalo blue, a little bit of burnt umber, and a little bit of yellow. And we're gonna have like a tree over here, and I'm using just like a tapping to tap this color in. And this is gonna be like our tree over here on the side. Phthalo blue, raw or burnt umber, and a little bit of yellow. And we're just tapping that in. Just tapping it in. Other side here. And this is going to be big tree. take more of that color, phthalo blue, burnt umber, and a little bit of yellow. And we're gonna have a smaller one over here. We're just gonna tap this color in. Tap the color in. You can even put some more down here if you want. Put some over here. Now we're going to mix in a little bit more yellow into that mixture to lighten up that green. And we're going to tap some of that color in as well. Tap it down here as well. It's just a little bit lighter green, you can barely tell. Just tapping this in. I'm just mixing more of that color. I'm going to tap it in here. I want a little bit more yellow. I want it a little lighter. You can barely tell on camera, but up close you can see that it's a lighter green. It'll start to make sense. let it go into the road a little bit, as if the foliage is like spilling over into the road. Okay. And we're gonna add even more yellow to that mixture, the phthalo blue, burnt umber, and lots more yellow this time. I'm just tapping this in. A little bit back here in the background. We'll come back to that. So as we're moving around, the reason why we're going back and forth with these colors, we're letting things dry as we work on other things. That way, we're not doing nothing, and you know, we're just giving things time to dry. We're gonna go into our burnt umber, a little tad bit of black and mostly white again. I'm gonna work on this road. And we're just tapping in this lighter color in different places. And I'm just wiggling my brush around. I don't know if you can see that. Just wiggling my brush around, creating lighter and darker areas. And going side to side with this lighter color. To that mixture. Put a little here. And concentrating mostly in the middle. We're putting in this lighter color. Like so. And adding a little bit more white. It's almost completely white now. Tap in some of this almost completely white mixture. You can rinse your brush out. Looking pretty good. Now we're gonna get phthalo blue and yellow and a little bit of white. Lighten that green up a lot. We're just gonna put, I need more white, a little bit more yellow. It's a really light green color. And we're just gonna tap this in. Don't cover the whole tree with this color. We're just gonna tap it in on the left side. And these are the highlights. Just tapping it in. And we'll go to the other side and we'll tap some of that color in over there as well. Now we're going to go into our white and yellow. Add smidge of phthalo blue. down here. So this is almost completely just yellow and white with a tad bit of the phthalo blue. I'm just doing light little taps here. Coming together, guys. I'm not doing too much of this. I don't want to put in too many highlights. First, I'm going to do it on this side as well. A little bit more yellow. I have too much white kept on. Okay, and you can rinse your brush out. Switch to your small round, and we're going to sketch out the little bear. We're going to go into our burnt umber. We're going to water it down quite a bit, just to sketch out this this bear, and it's from behind, so we're not gonna see any of the space. We're just gonna sketch out the back of his body and just follow along with what I'm doing. I'm gonna make this really simple. Not a lot of definition or lots of detailing or anything, because it's just the back. Simple sketch of them. So just follow along with what I'm doing. There's really no wrong way to do this. We're not doing like a portrait or anything like that. And that's his little ear. be it for our little sketch. Hopefully you can see this okay. Now we're going to take some raw umber or burnt umber and a little bit of black. And we're going to just fill in some color here. Like I said, it's not going to be super detailed. Just fill in a little color. Okay, and now with some raw sienna, mixed with a little burnt umber, and the rest of them. And blend around this part. Okay. And I think we'll take some yellow ochre or yellow oxide, mix a little bit of white with it. And we're just gonna line his little ear and line his body. Gonna mix a little bit more white with that yellow ochre. Just follow along with what I'm doing. Okay, rinse your brush out. We're going to switch to our smallest flat. And we're going to get white again. A little bit of yellow. A tad smidge of phthalo blue. And we're going to tap that in. This should be our lightest, brightest highlights. And just put it in a few places. And put a little bit of that color here. Now I'm going to take some white. You can rinse your brush out. We're almost done. We're going to take our liner brush and go into our white. And we're just going to line that little ear again. Line this side of the body. last thing we're going to do is again add in a little bit of color in the sky and brighten it up a little bit. You don't have to do this step if you're happy with how it looks, but I'm going to take a lot of white, a little bit of yellow, and just add in some highlights in the sky. Just lightly press it in the middle. I'm going to add in some more white. That was a little dark. I'm gonna all I did was dried off my brush on my towel to blend that. So I don't have any paint on my brush right now. I'm just blending out. And then I'm going to add a little bit more white to the very middle. And blend out again. I'm just still blending. There's no paint on my brush. I think I'll go into that purple gray, mix that with white. A little bit of white. And blend that out. I'm gonna dip my brush in water a little bit. Water this down a little bit so I can blend a little better. Get some more white. Wet my brush a little bit just to be able to blend a little bit better. I'm not putting in more paint, just adding water to my brush to blend. In just random places. So it's almost like putting a glaze over because I've added so much water, like, and not a lot of paint. If you like the way yours looks, you don't have to do this part. I just wanted to darken up the sky a little bit. It had gotten a little too light for me. Is about it. You guys, I really enjoyed painting this. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And this painting is pretty much done. If you want to add more colors to the sky, you can. I think I'm going to leave mine just how it is now. And Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.